And how did you get started with FinancialForce? What first steps did you take? Did you jump right in? Did you do a trial, or how was it implemented?
The actual process started with examining what application we needed for our supply chain solution, because we are a reseller of products, and that procurement process has to be managed somehow. And most ERP solutions have some type of supply chain component to them. So that's where we looked first on the App Exchange, and we found the supply chain management solution, and then we knew that it didn't make much sense to bring supply chain into our Salesforce organization without matching that up with some type of general ledger. And that's when we examined and began demonstrating the FinancialForce accounting package, which works harmoniously and alongside the supply chain solution. So that was basically the process. We knew that in the life cycle of an ERP solution that we needed the first piece, which was supply chain and quoting, and then we could attach that and plug that into the accounting piece.
And as a technology company, as a technological services provider, your people are used to that, like you were mentioning, but was there any resistance, or was it, okay, we're going to the cloud, we're going to use FinancialForce, and we're going to use more instances of Salesforce? Was there resistance and pushback from different silos in the organization, or did everybody just jump right on board and like, this is great, RJ, let's go?
It was interesting because with change, there's of course resistance from some fronts. Our sales folks began to realize that their ability to quote became that much faster because we were able to build templates, we were able to build consistency in the quoting, which hadn't existed before within Excel. The quoting tools that are available within the SCM application that FinancialForce offers is very robust. It allows us to look at the different suppliers and resources that we have to obtain product. It allows us to do very dynamic pricing. You can do quick changes to pricing. When our manufacturer vendors change their pricing, we can reflect that very quickly within our application. Whereas before, someone would have had to go manually into Excel and make all those changes. We now have consistency with regards to all of the part numbers and descriptions for different products. So the sales folks were actually the ones that had the most immediate resistance to it, simply because it was new and it was a different paradigm for how they were quoting. Our operations and finance folks were actually, I think, the ones most excited, because now they didn't have as many errors being introduced by the migration of Excel into our accounting platform. The speed at which we can make changes from an operational perspective to reflect the current environment is significantly improved. So those folks are all, we're on board and quite excited about the change. And then the accounting folks, including myself, had to learn how to use a very different system, but one that gives us a lot more flexibility from how we actually operate it. It still meets all of our audit and regulatory requirements, but it gives us a lot more visibility into the transactional records that we're working with. So for us, it was a learning curve, but it was a very welcome one.
And by this increased visibility through multiple departments, did that break down some communication barriers or some walls and just the way that you guys work together now?
I think it has. Our sales team now has information about the current amounts outstanding for a particular customer. They have complete visibility into past orders, whereas they didn't have that before. So they can see exactly what a customer has purchased before, what the sales patterns may be within a customer. So they can see that information that was historically sort of reserved for the operations folks. Similarly, we in the operations finance side of the business can now do a lot better forecasting. We can see exactly what quotes a salesperson has sent out to the customer. We can calculate probabilities of those quotes actually being turned into orders. We can provide our supplier partners with better forecasts of what's coming down the line from an ordering perspective. Our engineering and support teams have access to data that they never had before about the importance that a customer has to us. They don't have to send as many emails asking for information. They can go retrieve a lot of information themselves. We can streamline the actual delivery process of what we're producing for customers. So it has broken down a lot of communication barriers and walls in our organization and allowed our organization to work together more efficiently as a team, whereas before, we had each department sort of working in their own silo. And bringing everything on platform together gives us opportunities, when appropriate, to link information together and present it so that we can act upon it as a team and not have individuals out there in the dark about what's really going on.